The result of this poll saved my marriage. Let me explain. When my wife saw that last option, she said, "Me or Rise of Kingdoms?" I'm glad that this was the least voted option. Now I don't have to get divorced, but there is more. Second option, free to play. To be honest, I really wanted to start a complete free to play account to experience the struggle by myself, but to be a strong and efficient F2P, you need a lot of time. Do I have it? Let's see. I wake up at 7 and drop my wife off at the subway at 7:30. Then we hit the gym, still dark. 10-minute cardio, that's more than enough. After a 1.5 hour workout, then the boring stuff. We go to work at 10 a.m. and we stay there until 7 p.m. for like plus 9 hours. Now we can finally go back home. Now I'm finally at home and create content in peace. Wait. So yeah, to start an F2P jumper account, I would need to quit my job. And in that scenario, again, I will be single. But luckily, you guys selected option 1 so that we can spend just enough to make a powerful and efficient account without making my wife angry. Now it's time to discuss our jumper plan. Let's go.
Spartans! What is your profession?
What's going on, my beautiful governors? Welcome to a new Rise of Kingdoms video. As you can tell from the intro, today we will discuss our jumper plan. On your screen right now, there should be chapters of the video. We are going to start by discussing why I decided to make a jumper account, jumper project I joined and the jump date, etc. Starting and final civilization, troop type, city skin, possible city skins, commander investment order, equipment investment order, account goals, priority purchases, and we will end the video with a miscellaneous section. Why I decided to make a jumper account, I kind of talked about it in the last video, the first jumper video, because in off seasons, the first thing is in off seasons, we literally have nothing to do. It's just boring, fort rallies, barbarian killing, and gathering resources. So I needed something else to be able to make content, and on top of that, the kingdom that I'm in, as you can see, it is Kingdom 1093. Shout out to everyone. The only problem is I'm not allowed to stream during KVKs, and live streaming KVKs is like, they're super big, super important, a lot of actions, and I want to share those actions with you guys, but unfortunately, I am not allowed. Like, no one is allowed to stream during KVK fights. And that's why I just needed another account to be able to live stream my own KVKs. And the other thing is, I made a lot of bad purchases with this account. I think I'm a super low spender for at least 1 year. Like, I'm not purchasing almost any, like just a supply depot and 2-day recharge, and that's it. I think I don't even have this one, Divine Inheritance. This is like one of the best purchases in the game for low spenders, as we discussed in last video, in Saturday's video. So yeah, I am spending just a tiny bit of money on this one. But at the start of the game, when I was a newbie, I spent a lot of money. Look, I don't even have plus 20k bonuses on these because I almost purchased, look at this one. Usually, if you haven't purchased these things, they give you double the amount. For 4,600, you would get another 4,600 as bonus, 12k and 25k. But as you can see, these bonuses are quite low because I've already purchased these. Like, I made a lot of bad purchases, all right? So this time, what I want to do is I will spend less, but I will only spend on the best value purchases so that I can compare the experience versus the money for my account, my gameplay, and compare both of my accounts. Now, the jumper project that I've joined is Afterlife. Link will be in the description for their Discord. They have a super organized and very active Discord. A lot of written guides when it comes to, jumper related stuff and all that. So yeah, I decided to go with Afterlife. Account creation date is, I think, December 27th. And we will jump to our final kingdom in January 5th. So if you want to join, as I said, link is in the description. When it comes to the starting civilization for our jumper account, the answer is quite obvious. It is China. We have already discussed the reasons in this video card up in the top. It's a detailed jumper guide with a lot of tips and tricks. But basically, the main reasons are Sun Tzu, best epic commander, troop defense, which means all your troops will get that 3% defense buff, action point recovery of 5%, which is also super important. And on top of that, we also have another very important thing, which is 5% building speed. But at some point, I haven't decided when yet, it might be City Hall 17, we will switch to Germany. One of the best civilizations in Rise of Kingdoms, cav attack, troop training speed, and action point recovery, this time 10%. And our main troop type this time will be cavalry. I will explain it in detail in Commander Investment section, but we will be a cavalry main. City skins, we will go for this one, Hidden Lotus. It is an early game event. 5% cavalry attack, that is great. I mean, attack is As you guys know, not the most desirable stat, but at the start of the game, any city skin for your main troop type is great. Later on, we will try to get a 5% defense or 5% health for cavalry. And in Season of Conquest, I will either go for 10% defense for cav or 5% skill damage. I haven't decided yet, but we have a lot of time until we get to Season of Conquest. And this, my beautiful governors, is my commander investment plan. Obviously, this order may change depending on the commanders that Lilith will release until we get to Season of Conquest. For example, we may not invest on Honda if they release a perfect cavalry commander, a secondary for XY. As I said, this may change, but for now, we are going to start with investing on a 5511 Minamoto, and we will pair him with either Pelagius, Babers, or Osman. A lot of people underestimate Osman, but he is superb. Like, his single target damage is crazy. I think it's the highest one when it comes to epics. So yeah, I go with 5511 Minamoto primary with one of these commanders, epic commanders. And then I will save a lot of things just to invest on Saladin, just to get that 10 sculptures from his first MGE. And then I will invest on my universal legendaries on Saladin to get a Saladin with FF as my second march. By the way, yes, I know this is not the most ideal scenario because I have already played the most ideal scenario. On my main account, I already have that 5511 Richard, Max YSG, Max Alexander. I've already did that, so I want to do something different. I want to focus on cavalry, and I want to go with Minamoto plus an epic, Saladin, and FF. Our first Season of Conquest pair is going to be Nevsky and Joan. I'm going to save literally like every single skill reset I gathered until Season of Conquest so that I can get my Joan to 5515. And then our next investments are going to be Max XY and 5551 William. And once we get our Mehmet to 55 something something, I'm pretty sure that we will be able to do that until Season of Conquest. Now that we can pair our Mehmet, we can use him as a secondary to XY so that I can pair my Saladin with William instead of FF. And then, as I said, depending on the cavalry commanders they will release until we get into Season of Conquest, depending on that, I will invest on Honda or not. But for now, let's just say we also invest on Honda. So our top 3 pairs is going to be XY Honda, Saladin William, and Nevsky Joan. Now, when it comes to our equipment progression, since we are going to go for that top 3 cavalry marches before any infantry or archer marches, I will go for this set for every single commander at first. And then we are going to work on this set. I think this is super powerful. 11.5% attack, 36 points defense, 14.5% health. Pretty good compared to number of materials that you invest on this set. Once we are done with this one, then this is our next option. We are going to get the chest and the boots from cavalry set. And now, instead of Expedition Warhelm, I decided to go with the... I don't even know its name because it's an attack item. I decided to go with the Epic Helm for cavalry because on the previous set, we already have an equipment with attack. But on this one, since we are getting rid of that and we are upgrading it to legendary cavalry boots, which gives us health, I think we can afford to use an attack piece for the helm. But I will always have an Expedition Warhelm on the bag in case this attack equipment performs worse than Expedition Warhelm. And by the way, please ignore the special talent icons on legendary items. I just turned it on because it looks better. Now after that, what we do is we are not touching our weapon, we are not touching our helm. As I said, this one or Expedition Warhelm, it doesn't matter. We are going for Navas Control and Ash of the Dawn, and we should easily have these blueprints because they can come from equipment chests. They are not special to Season of Conquest. So yeah, it shouldn't be hard. Because after that, once we get this one, boom, what we are going is straight KVK items. KVK helm, KVK weapon. I think this is the best cavalry set in Rise of Kingdoms at this moment. And by the way, if you think any of the information was useful or helpful so far, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. It only takes 1 second, but helps the channel a lot. Thank you, and now let's talk about account goals. Until our first Season of Conquest, I want to have a 5% health city skin for cavalry. I want to have a 5551 Saladin and saved up enough sculptures to go for a Max Nevsky and 5515 Joan of Arc immediately. And when it comes to our kill points, this may not sound very aggressive, but I want to have plus 1 billion kill points at the end of our first Season of Conquest. Now let's talk about our priority purchases. Previous video we already discussed this. the low spending thing, make sure to check it out, card up in the top. I'm not 100% sure about King's Coronation because full bundle is quite expensive. Dailies, no, I'm not touching dailies. Gem store, I'm not touching gem store. I will get the growth fund, but you don't need to rush for growth fund because you can even purchase it at like City Hall level 25 and you will get all of these gems instantly. So yeah, it is pretty good. And obviously we will go for the supply depot. And on top of that, I will certainly go for $5 on loose and screws, and I'm gonna try to get it Vanquisher and Writer of History bundles every time they pop up. Don't let her hear that. I think she's sleeping, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get those bundles every time they pop up. I think that wraps up the video. If you guys have any questions about anything, it doesn't have to be jumper related, make sure to comment your question down below. Consider subscribing if you think this video was helpful and if you don't want to miss the future ones. And here you can find our jumper account guides. How should you create your account? What are the best tips when you create your jumper account? I think this video will help you a lot if you are planning to make a jumper account. And our project link, Discord link is in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I see you on this video. Bye.